Massachusetts Bitcoin Reserve Bill hits a wall as lawmakers go silent. What's next? Bitcoin Reserve. Massachusetts. The Massachusetts Bitcoin Reserve Bill received no questions during its latest hearing, reflecting cautious legislative engagement despite bipartisan dialogue led by Senator Peter Durant. Journalist Hassan Shittu. About author Hassan, a cryptonews.com journalist with 6+ years of experience in Web3 journalism, brings deep knowledge across crypto, Web3 gaming, NFTs, and play-to-earn sectors. His work has appeared in Author Profile, Share, Copied, last updated 14 hours ago. A proposal to establish a state-backed Bitcoin reserve in Massachusetts has encountered an early setback after state lawmakers showed little engagement during its first public hearing in 8 months. The bill, titled an act relative to a Bitcoin strategic reserve, was introduced by Republican State Senator Peter Durant and presented before the Massachusetts Joint Committee on Revenue on Tuesday. Massachusetts bill proposes allocating billions from state reserve to Bitcoin. The measure seeks to authorize the state treasury to allocate up to 10% of the Commonwealth Stabilization Fund, a reserve worth billions, into Bitcoin and other digital assets. It would also allow Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies seized by state authorities to be added to a dedicated reserve. This creates a prudent diversification tool, ensuring full transparency, oversight, and risk management without mandating any action, Durant said during the session. However, after opening the floor for questions, the committee members remained silent, offering no responses or follow-up inquiries on the proposal. The quiet reception marked the bill's first legislative activity since it was introduced in February 2025. The committee now has 60 days to either advance the legislation or refer it for additional review, indicating possible movement by early December. Durant said that he remains optimistic despite the lack of immediate engagement. We've been having great conversations with our colleagues about the possibility of bringing Bitcoin to Massachusetts, and we're working hard to move this forward alongside others who have filed similar legislation, he said. Lawmakers have been engaged and open during the process, and we're focused on continuing to educate every stakeholder. Dennis Porter, CEO of the Bitcoin advocacy group Satoshi Action Fund, also testified in support of the bill. Porter described Massachusetts as a historic financial hub, well-suited to lead state-level Bitcoin initiatives, noting that the state pioneered America's first mutual fund and has long been central to U.S. financial innovation. He argued that the measure could be bipartisan in nature and pointed to other U.S. states that have already taken steps to create digital asset reserves. State Bitcoin reserve movement falters as Massachusetts adds to growing list of delays. The Massachusetts hearing follows similar activity across the country, where a handful of states have explored or enacted Bitcoin reserve measures. Texas, Arizona, and New Hampshire have all passed legislation establishing state-level reserves, while proposals in Wyoming, Montana, Pennsylvania, and North Dakota have stalled or been rejected. As of October 2025, only 3 states have successfully created Bitcoin reserve frameworks. New Hampshire became the first in May, followed by Arizona and Texas, which approved a modest $10 million allocation earlier this year. Data from the Bitcoin Reserve Monitor shows that more than 24 states introduced reserve-related bills in 2025, but most remain in committee or face uncertain prospects. The tepid response in Massachusetts comes amid a broader cooling of momentum for such initiatives. Bloomberg reported in February that at least 4 states rejected Bitcoin reserve proposals in a single month, citing volatility and fiscal risk. Jennifer Schulp of the Cato Institute noted that even in bullish market conditions, price swings remain a major obstacle for lawmakers tasked with managing public funds. Under Durant's plan, the proposed reserve would not compel the state treasury to immediately acquire Bitcoin. Instead, it would authorize but not require up to 10% of the stabilization fund to be allocated toward Bitcoin or similar digital assets as part of a diversification strategy. State and federal Bitcoin reserve efforts converge. The bill's timing coincides with growing federal attention to Bitcoin reserves. In March 2025, President Donald Trump signed an executive order authorizing the creation of a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve, funded primarily through Bitcoin seized by the Department of Treasury. Senator Cynthia Lummis has since introduced federal legislation that would authorize the government to purchase up to 1 million BTC over 5 years, though the bill remains in Congress. In a recent post on X, Lummis reaffirmed her support for the federal initiative, calling the strategic Bitcoin reserve a fabulous articulation of why the U.S. should hold Bitcoin as a strategic asset. She added that while legislative delays persist, the acquisition of funds for an SBR can start any time. Critics, however, continue to warn that its extreme volatility makes it unsuitable for taxpayer-backed reserves. Still, momentum for such measures continues internationally. Sweden recently introduced a parliamentary motion calling for a national Bitcoin strategy, while Kyrgyzstan and the Philippines are considering similar frameworks. With the Joint Committee on Revenue expected to issue its decision by early December, the Massachusetts Bitcoin Reserve Bill now sits at a crossroads. Follow us on Google News, Trending News, Recommended Popular Crypto Topics Price Predictions. Solana Price Prediction. Upcoming technical upgrades could change everything. $1,000 SOL could be weeks away. Why is crypto down today? October 10th, 2025 XRP Price Prediction. Traders are fearful, but whale wallets and ETF optimism tell a different story. Plasma Price Prediction. On-chain growth explodes? Is XPL becoming the new XRP? Bitcoin Price Prediction. Same signal that preceded big crash just flashed again. Should you panic? Press releases. Swift partners with ETH to challenge Ripple, while XRP investors turn to come mining. Cloud mining for fresh opportunities. Price analysis. Dogecoin price prediction. Doge overtakes XRP as volume explodes. Meme coins are back. 2 days ago, by Harvey Hunter. Blockchain news. Wall Street giant S&P just launched a top 50 crypto index. What happens next? 3 days ago, by Hassan Shittu. Best crypto to buy now in October 2025. Top crypto to invest in. 3 days ago, by Alan Draper. New cryptocurrencies to invest in today. Top new crypto coins. 3 hours ago, by Inesis Tavares. 14 best crypto presales to invest in 2025. Presale crypto list. 3 hours ago, by Alan Draper. 15 new and upcoming Coinbase listings in October 2025. 8 hours ago, by Elijah Rankovich. 12 new and upcoming Binance listings in 2025. 8 hours ago, by Elijah Rankovich. The next crypto to explode in 2025. Our top picks. 1 day ago, by Elijah Rankovich. Bitcoin, BTC, price prediction 2025 to 2030. 13 hours ago, by Leon Waters. XRP, price prediction 2025, 2026 to 2030. August 29, 2025, by Eric Huffman. Ethereum price prediction 2025 to 2030. October 3, 2025, by Ben Beto.